Hi there, my name is REDRUP, you're listening to the It's Not a Phase podcast, and on this episode I'm joined by Signs of the Swarm frontman David Simonich. We talk about the band's new album, Amongst the Low and Empty, creating the record almost from scratch in the studio, signing to Century Media Records, working with Matt Heafy of Trivium, doing video game voiceover work, and loads more. Now, if you enjoyed this or any other episode of the podcast and you want to show your support, there's a few ways that you can do that. Number one, leave a rating and review wherever you're listening to this. It takes just a few seconds and it really does help. Number two, share this on your social media, whether that be Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever. Or number three, if you want to go the extra mile, you can pay a little bit each month to join the Patreon, and in return you'll get access to episodes early along with some other perks, or you can pick up some merch from the store. All the links to that and the podcast socials where you can follow us can be found at itsnotaphase.co.uk. That's itsnotaphase.co.uk. And now with all that out of the way, let's jump right into this week's episode of It's Not a Phase. What's up everybody? Thank you for joining me on this episode of It's Not a Phase, where I'm joined by Dave Simonich, who is the vocalist of Signs of the Swarm. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I've been looking forward to having you on. I believe sometimes you guys go by the name of the highest deathcore band? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, we like to try to hold that title. A lot of bands try to, they be smoking though. We're always the ones that's sparking up. No matter where we're at in the world, dude, we're always just burning. Somehow, some way. It just happens, dude. It just gravitates to us.
You got to maintain your brand, man. I mean,
I guess, it just happens. This is who we are. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just is what it is.
Yeah. Wasn't that your birthday a few days ago as well?
Yeah. Boy just turned 32.
How's that going? How are you feeling?
My knees are still intact. I'm waiting for them to just break like all the memes say, what I mean? But had a great birthday. Busy.
What'd you get up to?
Just prepping new music videos coming and stuff. Just a lot of cool things in the work for Signs of the Swarm right now. And just getting in merch stock and getting ready for all these shows coming up. We're going to be in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, in a few months, yeah.
Yeah, we've been prepping for that whole run. Just a lot of stuff going on, dude. That's just in the Signs of the Swarm camp,
Yeah, keeping yourself busy, yeah.
Yeah, I have to, dude.
Well, yeah, let's get into it then. The big news being that album number 5 is coming out, Amongst the Low and Empty. Yeah, it's almost here, and it's the third album since you joined the band. How are you feeling about putting this one out there, as, in comparison to the last few?
I'm very confident with the record. It's very strong. There's a lot of hidden gems that aren't showcased as singles, where a lot of it will appeal to a lot of our OG fans and just fans throughout our entire discography. We tried to be as diverse as possible while trying to be innovative at the same time. We tried to bring this new atmosphere to Signs of the Swarm that we haven't showcased just yet. And I'm really eager for everybody to see what this piece of work really is. I'm ready for them to experience that roller coaster ride of playing it start to finish. Every time that I listen to it, I get lost in it, and I'm just yo, this isn't I can't believe this is my band. This ain't me. You know what I mean? We really lived in the moment of creating the record, and I feel like it's just very special. I'm ready for everybody to experience it.
Well, I mean, we can dive into it a bit more shortly, but I've listened to the album a few times now, and there's quite a lot of new things going on that you didn't try, or you kind of maybe dipped your toes in a couple of times in Absolver, where it's you've got some EDM influences kind of sprinkled in there, and in the closing track you've got a bit of a groove metal injection going in as well.
I know, right? We did a lot of different things that is a different fold of the band. We didn't want to entirely just give a copy paste of what Absolver was. We kind of wanted to do what we did with Vital Deprivation. It was a new stage of our careers and our artistic path. And I believe that I don't know, man. I'm really just all around stoked for this massive amount of work that we put together to get released. Truly.
Yeah. Well, can you tell me a bit more about the meaning behind the album title? Where did that come from? What's all that all about?
The album title came from, we were writing Dreaming Desecration, and it was a line from a motivational piece from my past where It's like I was surviving amongst the low and empty. That's pretty much the whole idea of like the whole thing, because every song kind of like translate to a different emotion or experience that I've gone through or another band member has gone through. Like The Witch Beckons, for example, it's an exaggeration of how my eyesight is starting to go. And I created this fictional witch that is growing a garden of stars in my eyes. There's just like a lot of hidden gems in there, but that just like all kind of relate to just like living in these really low and really miserable points of life. You know what I mean? And we wanted to channel that into our songs and share our experiences and share our emotions that we've kind of been through, just kind of through like, I want to say over exaggerated imagery. That's kind of more on the horror side of things. But yeah, that's pretty much like where the Amongst the Low and Empty kind of came from. It's originally started from a line that I wrote from Dreaming Desecration. And Bobby was just like, yeah, dude, that title, he was like, that would be like a sick title for a record.
Yeah.
Amongst the Low and Empty. And I was like, let's do it. You know what I mean? And then the original song, Dreaming Desecration, it's about growing up around like drug environment and just like being miserable and just like daydreaming of killing the people that are coming in and out of your house and stuff, you know? But yeah, so like we took that and kind of just like made it grow even to a bigger piece than what that one simple line truly was in Absolvir. We try to leave like little Easter eggs around while we're planning for the next record whenever we're doing our current record. There are some Easter eggs inside this record that kind of hint for some things for like in the future as well. I'm excited for people to be able to like read the lyrics and make the connections and be like, yo, that's fucking sick. You know what I mean? Like, cause like, dude, like whenever we were planning this shit out, it was just like, Mike, he helped me write lyrics and I'm like, I want this line because it references this and then it evolves into this. And then he's like, holy shit.
I guess it's just like those kind of like references where songs and album interweave into each other. It just gives like an extra level of depth for fans to kind of like dig into, doesn't it?
That's what I'm saying, because like personally, I like looking at the lyrics and not just being like, just, oh, those are cool noises. You know what I mean? Like, I like to know what they're actually trying to translate this way. So I don't know. I'm a real big lyric nerd. So I know that there are some other people out there that are like me. And I like to try to leave like little hidden gems around for those people, just because like there are some people where like they already made the connection that Tower of Torsos is along the lines of the long chronicles that I've made from Crown of Nails to Totem to Tower of Torsos. They're all like songs that reference themselves. And it's all about like my journey as a vocalist and with some over exaggerations and some cool inspo towards like visual concepts and whatnot.
Well, you mentioned, you know, kind of visual concepts there and the song Tower of Torsos. And I guess that kind of links into, you know, the album artwork as well, which when I first saw that, I thought that's sick. Like, that's so cool. Yeah,
dude, like literally if throughout all the album art, there's like little like pieces that reflect parts of the entire record. Like in the crown on the priest is from Dream Killer. The serpent inside his hand is from Echelon. The fire in his hand is from Fire and Stone. There's just like little things that are inside the extra artworks that are actually there. And like how we have the field of Towers of Torsos, you know what I mean? The original idea was to do like a valley, and I have like poor eyesight, like I mentioned with the whole one song, The Witch Beckons. So whenever I first got it, I didn't have my glasses on. And I was like, yo, are those fucking like statues of dead bodies, bro? And like, I'm like, yo, this is fucking ill. And like, I put my glasses on and I'm like, oh, those are just fucking mountains. And I'm like, yo, you know, it'd be a sick idea, dude. And literally like just like a simple mistake turned into such an awesome idea. You know what I mean? And it shaped out to be really cool.
Well, you mentioned there, you know, those kind of the artwork, you know, interweaving with the songs as well. That just references back to what you said before, you know, that it's not just the fact of you just writing these individual songs and that's what they are. They interweave into one another. There's like reference points, not only in song to song, but as you say, artwork as well.
That's what I'm saying. I try to have like a lot of things where like people see it and they're just like, yo, no way. They really took that little bit of extra time to plan it that much further. It's not just barbed wire. It's not just
like skulls and
yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Stuff,
just like the stereotypical stuff where it's just like it's been done. I feel like that we've just in general with this entire experience of this record and everything, I do feel like that we are just like bringing a new taste and like something new to the table where it's like nostalgic in a way and it reminds you of Signs of the Swarm, but it's just a different approach of it. And it just adds to the eagerness of like just releasing this monster, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited.
Well, yeah, like it's people don't always realize like there's so much more to it because you've got to think of the whole album experience, right? It's not just a collection of these songs that you wrote. There's a whole experience that goes into it. That's, like you say, the artwork, the references, that whole thing.
It's like you're kind of like submerging yourself into like a little universe that's been created. Like I like to think as albums like as like a comic book, but it's not a comic book, you know, it's a musical piece and it's representing it differently. But like I think of it in a way of that. Like I'd like to think so, at least, because like it's like you're going and like you're visually reading something and seeing all these images and everything, but there's music to it. You're reading the, like, say you have the vinyl where you can open it up and like you have the picture there and you're reading it and like you remember what the picture is, and then it hits the lyric that actually references the point of the guy, and you're just like, yo, no shit. It's really cool. It's like a big puzzle.
Yeah, definitely. And this is your first album since signing to Century Media Records, which is, you know, a huge leap there. How are you feeling about being on that roster? How did that all come about?
Honestly, it's an honor. I remember whenever Mike Gitter, my A&R guy, I remember he took us out to Korean barbecue and sat down and literally talked to us about what we wanted to do for the future. And it just felt very right. And everything felt just like they knew what we needed to do and they knew what we wanted to do. And they're willing to help us make it happen. Honestly, like whenever I signed to Century and I had to keep it quiet, I was like, damn, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, because I joined the band whenever they were already a part of Unique Leader Records, which our relationship with Unique Leader Records was amazing. They treated us like family. I still stay in contact with some of the team that I worked with just because I grew to be friends with them just for how long we worked together. But it wasn't like my deal. I didn't get the footing. I didn't do that work. And whenever I signed with Century, it was like a huge just satisfaction point for me personally, just because this was like my first real deal, even though I completed a band's contract and everything, you know what I mean? It's my deal. And it's like me and my boys, you know what I mean? And like, it's just crushing it, dude. It was just a real good feeling, you know what I mean? Whenever I actually got to get my deal. But Century Media is absolutely amazing. They treat us so great. Shout out to Sonia. She's my warrior behind the keyboard. And same with Brad. Shout out to those guys. Brad's my manager, so he's not Century Media, but he still deserves a hard shout out because he does a lot for us.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's extra validation for you, isn't it? Because you would never have got that deal if Absolver didn't do as well as it did. Like if that was
honestly, like we did a lot with that record. Whenever that record released, my analogy for like that record cycle is that literally like we were just running around with machine guns shooting at anything we could. You know what I mean? We fucking were all over the fucking world, dude. Just fucking toured the States like I think like almost like 11 times.
Yeah. We just came out of COVID, didn't we? So of course
that's what I'm saying. Like we just hit the ground running as soon as COVID fucking was pretty much over. I remember our first tour back. I didn't even think it was fucking going to happen because like it was around that time period where bands would like put out a tour flyer and then like it'd get canceled like 3 weeks later. So I thought that was a scenario that I was going to be in. But then it's like week leading in, it's like, hey, did you do your advancing? I'm like, oh shit, this is happening. Let's go, baby. And then we just started running, dude. I think we were on the road for like over 220 days of the year.
That's insane.
I know we did over 150 shows out of those 220 days.
Wow.
That's like including all our travel time and being
Yeah.
away from home and stuck at airports, stuck in the van, truck stops, all that good shit. Fucking yeah.
Making up for lost time.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like honestly, that record did do a lot for us, just like that entire cycle did. All the people that were involved with the record helped us out tremendously. Like so grateful for like the features that I got on that record that really like showcased a lot with us. Shout out Ben Durer and Alex Arian, Shadow of Intent and Despised Icon. They crushed those songs. It was a sick record cycle during that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Cycle. We got Matt Heafy.
Yeah, big name.
That's
Big
great, dude. I remember whenever he like literally he hit us up.
Oh, really?
I was like, yeah. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
He hits us up and he's like, I hear you guys are doing a new record. I'd love to do a feature or something with you guys. And I was like, bet, buddy. We were like, dude, we need to make the most metal song possible. And fucking, we really honed in on that energy. And it's like a nice little hidden gem throughout Amongst Alone Empty.
Yeah, he kills his spot. And I think it's good as well. Like he's got such a distinctive voice, but also it's a voice that's definitely different to yours, so it adds like an extra kind of texture to the song.
Yeah, dude, like whenever it breaks back, it like from that back and forth kind of part, there's a huge contrast from voice, and I honestly love it. And I love how it just worked out as a whole, because like literally I just like, he was like, send me what you're thinking and I'll just do my thing. And I was like, dude, that's easy. Let's go. Yeah. So if I can, I do the part. And he was like, I love this. I'm just going to do it how you sent it. And I was like, all right, if that's what you want to do, bro, you know what I mean? Like,
that's cool.
You're Matt Heafy. You can do whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, you could even just say like on the track, like, listen to Trivium. I would have been fine.
Jesus fuck.
So, I mean, yeah, let's talk about putting the record together then. So, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe you went into the studio and you had 4 songs almost complete, but that was about it.
Honestly, dude, fucking whenever we went in, we had like 3 ideas.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't even say that they're like full songs, because like there are parts like I absolutely wasn't with. I just couldn't feel the vibe. But we kind of canned everything and started from scratch.
Okay.
I even did that with lyrics. Like, yeah, I went back to some points and got some reference points and whatnot, but we really created the record in studio in the moment. Literally, like Bobby's inside one studio. He's cooking, writing instrumentals with Josh Schroeder. Then me and Mike were inside the other room. He's airdropping me tracks and we're just in there cooking, just writing lyrics together, bouncing ideas off. He's making sure that I'm not going too fucking psycho big brain on it. Because like sometimes I get a little too cryptic, and he really helped me ground myself on that for this record. I feel like that the lyrics are very more digestible. Gets real more catchy. So having somebody there with me writing definitely kind of helped. But yeah, we were in there cooking, and that's how we pretty much created the record.
Basically from the ground up then.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. We were like getting our visuals as we were making the record. And I believe that that's what really helped us build this up, like the special piece that it is, like with all the collaborative artwork tying into certain songs and being able to see like everything. We have been kind of working on some like behind the scenes, like the making stuff. Been trying, but been kind of just like ending up at brick walls with that.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going into the studio and you've got pretty much not very much at all, and then you scrap what you did have anyway, that must have been so much pressure on all of you to create a whole album.
We were sweating. not gonna lie, we were sweating. Just with like the experience of parting ways with Jeff, our guitar player, and going in, and Bobby being the full instrumental coordinator, essentially. It was a large weight put on Bobby's shoulders, and he definitely crushed it, handling all that pressure. Me, I feel like that I kind of just like went with it because I wanted to. This was my first time working with a producer and everything, so I kind of wanted to embrace that experience as much as I could. And that's where canning all my stuff and starting from scratch was really good, because like I had my producer coming in and being like, what are you doing for this chorus? I want to hear it right now. What are you doing? And I'm like, all right. And then I show him, and then he's like, no, that needs to be better. You need to fix that up. This, I'd give you about B+ right now. You know what I mean? And then it's just like, fuck. All right. Well, that honesty made it be that much better. So like, there was like a lot of pressure though, just like starting from scratch, but like at the same time, it was not nearly as much pressure as Bobby had to go through. But yeah, fucking crushed through the record though, really quick. We were there for the first, like, I want to say 3.5, 4-ish weeks. And then we had to go back and make more songs. And that's where one of the songs actually ended up disappearing. And it just like, it doesn't exist anymore. And then we wrote 2 new songs, which were Faces Without Names and Malady. And I believe that those are like great concluding songs, because it just like ties in some, like, it's just like, it's what bands do, where like they do like a big instrumental piece, you know what I mean? And we wanted to do that, but different. So like, that's where Faces Without Names, it has a transitional piece at the very end that people would have never guessed would have been on a Signs of the Swarm record. It's like a full EDM, just like breakout for a minute, you know what I mean? And kind of just go through this roller coaster to get to the final chapter of Amongst the Low and Empty, which is Malady.
So did you, when you went back and you did those extra 2 tracks, you say you've kind of scrapped one song that was originally there. Did you do like other tweaks on the songs that were already there and kind of? Oh yeah, we tweaked the entire record coming in, because we had this like reflection time. We were able to go home. We thought the record was done. And then it's like, we're home and we're listening to him. It's like, I wish I would have did that there. Like Between Fire and Stone, the whole beginning is different. The whole vocal lead up into that from the beginning of that wasn't there. And like, I felt like that the song needed something like a driving force to create this momentum tension to get to that big fucking release of the beginning of the song, you know? So you think it turned up as a completely different record then when you went back and did those kind of changes then?
Honestly, I feel like that it took it across the finish line. I feel like that we had a great record, but us going back made it a special record. We know that like this record is doing a lot for us right now, and it's not even released. And it's honestly crazy to me getting stats on videos that like almost match where some of my videos sit now. And they've been out for about a year now or 2. It's just like crazy. I'm just like, yo, this is fantastic. You know what I mean? Like seeing this project grow from like, I'm going on 5 years of the band. And it's just like watching how everything grew and changed and evolved. It's just so sick to just like be sitting there and just like living through it. Because there's gonna be a time where like we're dead. And you know what I mean? Like there's gonna be time where we're dead. And then there's people that are gonna look back and be like, you remember that shit from fucking 2023, dude? You know what I mean? Like
throwback.
Fucking, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
sorry,
like
I got a little morbid there for a minute.
a little bit, but it's something to kind of think about, isn't it? Because you listen back to some of these, OG deathcore,
that's what I'm saying,
bands and stuff, and at some point in maybe 10, 20, however many years, you're going to be looked back as like a classic band, like an old school band, whereas right now, obviously,
well,
you're not.
Hopefully, you know what I mean? Like, I got to keep grinding and keep working. I hope that I could get the title of being one of the classic deathcore bands. You know what I mean? Like, because like I feel like that, like we are a true deathcore band that just like showcases a bunch of different elements of music as a whole. So I hope that we can. I hope that we can earn that title to be a classic. Hopefully.
I think so. Like deathcore's kind of getting quite a good resurgence in the past few years, and as good as that is, you've got all these fantastic bands that are coming out. Whenever that happens, unfortunately, the genre oversaturates as well, and there's going to be plenty of bands that are just kind of mediocre at best. But you're climbing that tower of deathcore torsos.
Trying, dude.
Yeah,
trying.
So what was it like for like a lyrical standpoint on this album? You know, especially, you know, you've said you had a few reference points, but again, not only vocally are you starting from scratch, lyrically, more or less, you're kind of starting from scratch as well, I guess.
Yeah, see, like my original idea, the album artwork was supposed to be this vast, icy wasteland because we wrote this record in Detroit. So we knew that we were going to be like tracking the music in cold environment. And we're like, wouldn't that be a cool little spin on it? Like we're putting our actual environment as the imagery. And like, that's what the original piece was supposed to be. And I didn't get that artwork back until we were in the studio and I was already kind of working on things. So I had some pieces to the puzzle there. Like I was like, yeah, I want these little Easter eggs here, 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 and here. And I want these pieces here, here, here that will translate to this, because most of the pieces are songs that aren't singles. It's kind of like a little idea I had to kind of like show off the songs in their own way, since they didn't get the honor of being chosen to be a music video single, etc. You know what I mean? So building the lyrics and everything, like that's just simple. Like I kind of knew what I was already going for, like having like the title track in mind, like what the whole album was going to be about. It's kind of easy to go. It was just trying to find the right moments of life that fit this vibe that we were going for.
Right.
And that's where a lot of like long conversations with Michael came into play. And we just started working and just building this and just building it more and more and more. And it was like just everything kind of fell into each other. And we were like, dude, this would work perfect if this happened. And like, then that's whenever like my eyesight thing fucking happened where I missaw it. And then I was like, yo, this would be sick. And then that's whenever like I wanted to be like, yo, Tower of Torsos would be fucking hard as fuck. And I remember writing it down on the dry erase board, and my producer came in and he saw it and he was like, Tower of Torsos, that's very cool. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I had the idea whenever I fucked something up the other day. And then he was like, yeah, you need to do something with this. And he was like, you need to go psycho. And then fucking Bobby made fucking the instrumental of Tower of Torsos. And that's whenever he sent that to me that morning. I was like, all the pieces fit here. And it's like, it's time to bring this to life. And then it was like, as soon as I put the vocals to it, we all thought that the song wasn't it. Like we thought it was just going to be some just like hidden track in the record. And like, it was like, as soon as we put like vocals on it and we sat there and listened to it, we were just like, dude, the vocals really brought this song together. And then like, it was just like hands down, like everyone's just like, no, this is the song that's releasing everything.
Yeah.
And that's whenever like the importance of Tower of Torsos came into play. It was just like a really, really cool experience, man, because it was just like everything just like fell into place how it's supposed to. And it was so fast and just like, it's like hard to put the word to it because like it was just like so much going on. We had people in there with cameras and videoing us while we're tracking and writing, and then had people doing just so much shit like while we were there. You know what I mean? Like our merch guy came just to be an outside ear and be like, no, that don't sound right. Or like we had our videographer James there for a minute, and he captured almost every moment. Us sitting there inside the B&B miserable because we can't drive anywhere because there's like 1.5 feet of snow, and the mouse problem at the Airbnb.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just like all the things that happened and everything, you know what I mean? But there was just so much going on, and it just happened so fast. It's just crazy how everything just came together. It was like literally like a pyramid was being built, but like we weren't looking at it while it was being built.
It sounds like it was like such a, especially if you consider the circumstances of all like the pressure of like you said before, you know, you kind of create an album from the ground up. Despite that, it sounds like it was such like a cohesive and efficient kind of process of creating this album. And the fact that you mentioned before, you kind of like snowed in, basically all your creative attention is on creating this album. Like there's no kind of like outside sources kind of, I don't know, distracting you and kind of interfering in what's going on.
right? Like literally, like we kind of like locked ourselves away at that Airbnb. If we weren't writing at the studio, we were writing there, or we were eating or smoking weed. But literally every day we were clocking in like at least like 8-9 hours a day, just like nonstop writing. There'd be days where like I'd get the most brutal headache, and it's just because like I'm sitting there just blasting the same song over and over and over and over and over and over. And like it definitely helped put this additional emotion into the record and different type of vibe. The big major changing point for like the record though was like my recording process. I kind of did things a lot differently than I normally would. I would usually like hold the mic and have it in my hand. This time I actually had it like about good like 6 inches to 1.5 feet away from me, depending on what range I was doing. I discovered that a lot of things that I had with mixing issues in the past was a proximity effect of some problems that of me tracking. It wasn't my performance, it was more of the execution of the performance, because I'm sitting there putting this like this. I'm essentially just like, you know,
basically eating the microphone. Yeah,
exactly. You know, and it creates this like sonic interference where it's like hard to control. And me working with the producer, him having me do an A/B version and actually sit back and be like, damn, this is actually really cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it sounds better, and you can hear the grit, and you can hear the dynamic of my voice, and you can hear me breathing. You know what I mean? It's not just like, you know, fucking just real muffled and people misunderstanding like what my voice actually sounds like. Because for a while there, I feel like people were like, yo, if you see them live, it's way better than their recording. And like, we wanted to change that. We wanted people to be able to experience the record for the type of energy that we actually convey live.
Well, speaking of that, was there anything that you kind of wanted to achieve in terms of your vocal abilities to, you know, to kind of step up on this album?
Honestly, I stepped up my my vocal dynamic as a entirety. I stepped it up so much. I learned to have the songs have room to breathe and to be songs. A lot of my work in the past were like, I'm like, damn, I should have let that breathe a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't have just been going nonstop the entire time. Let the song do its thing a little bit, you know? And that's something that I wanted to do with this one. I just had to hone in and just like find the right moments to let the song do the work, let the band just rock out, dude. But I definitely wanted to be more flashy with my vocals and just like how they're showcased and the type of ranges that I put together. Because like there's some songs where there's ranges that aren't hit in others. Ranges inside Dreamkiller are completely different than ranges that are hit in between Fire and Stone. Or Borrowed Time, it has it's like the same vibe, but it's a different style. It's like a bouncy vibe and real energetic, real chorus driven song, but it's just a different style of it. I don't know. It's just cool little things, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know, you said before you had a producer this time around, and then I believe you also had some contributions to the album from Josh Travis and also Cameron from Born of Osiris. How do they kind of interplay into the creation of this record?
Well, Cameron, he had a lot to do with the songs Borrowed Time and Echelon, where Josh Travis kind of jumped around and kind of did some soundscaping and stuff. And throughout like the entire record, it was pretty much like he was like the third ear, and he would contribute on this stuff that he believed the songs needed to add that little bit of extra salt and pepper to it. Just the extra little bit that it was needed that wasn't there. We just heard it so much. Having a professional ear to be able to check it out and listen to it and play back in their studio and be like, this is missing this one thing. And then that one thing is actually very crucial. Like we have some kind of like percussive like noises that happen in the title track Amongst the Lone Empty while the chugs are going on and stuff. That was a Josh Travis type of element that was implemented, where we didn't think of putting that there, but after it was there, once we like took it away at one point, we were like, it don't sound right without it. Like it truly was missing that one little element where it really helped a lot. Josh, he was there from us walking in the door to suggesting with us that we write this whole thing in studio. And he was there every step of the way. He was there fucking giving us good snacks whenever we did good.
Like a little treat.
Yeah, literally. It was all psychological warfare.
Yeah, I think that's good, isn't it? You need to kind of have an outsider look at things, because if you're kind of just so deep into the songs that you're creating, you kind of sometimes get tunnel vision and you don't really see what else could potentially contribute to the songs.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And like, I feel like that's where this record is like very well put together as an entirety. We have grade A musicians and producers all just contributing, listening, giving feedback, all just like notes. Like there are times where they're like, I wish dude was doing vocals here. And we were like, should we put vocals here now? It was like having some of those reflective points, like really actually like helped a lot and really take it across the finish line, dude. Just honestly reflecting on it, man. It's just so much.
Wild.
You know what I mean? Like so much shit happened. Like we almost fucking died driving back we went to go see Lorna Shore play in Detroit. We were driving back and like literally our car spun out and like did a whole like 360. No damage is done at all. Just a complete 360 on the fucking highway and spin out. And we just like stopped and we're like, we're good. And we're like, yo, we just almost died. And I was like, we need to get back to the B&B. We need to stop fucking around. That was because it was like the first day that we were in Detroit. We were like, I forget what the fucking town was called that we were like living in and shit. But it was like kind of on the outskirts of the town where my producer lives. But Detroit was like 2 hours away or something like that. And like the first thing we did, we checked in and was like, all right, we're going to Lorna Shore show. And we just left. And then next thing you know, turn around, we almost died.
Oh God.
And then we're like, no, we're not fucking around anymore. It's literally producer's house, B&B, home. That's no places in between.
Yeah. And
then that's where I found my love for Jet's Pizza. If you ever come to the States and go to Michigan, go to Jet's Pizza. Oh man, fucking I would love to see your first reaction of the condiments of the United States versus what you got over your way, man.
I've been to
you've been over this way?
I've been to California and I've been to Florida, but I've not been anywhere else. I want to explore more, but it's not cheap.
Bro, there's this, it's like a specific kind of ranch. And if you like put it in with this pizza, the combination is like heaven. Shout out Jet's Pizza. Fucking, I love it.
Well, I'll make a note of it. And if I ever come over, I'm going to try it.
Yeah, if you're
I'm
ever
going to tell
in
you
Michigan,
what I think.
yeah, if you're ever in Michigan, email me and tell me. I want to see a picture of your reaction.
Right.
Because you're going to be like,
right, okay. Well, speaking of pizza, just a slight sidetrack here.
Okay.
If you're going for any condiments, what you go to? Not condiments, sorry, toppings. What
toppings? Fuck. That's a hard one. All right, like not gonna lie, it depends where I'm at.
Okay.
If I'm in the States, I like doing bacon and onion pizza.
Right, okay.
I don't know why. I just find it awesome. Because like I like dipping my pizza in ranch. I really do. I know it has marinara on it and that's supposed to be a sauce, but there's a special thing about ranch and marinara mixed together. It's just special.
I can tell you're getting very emotional about it.
Yeah, it's just so special. Like if I have pizza and I don't have ranch, I'm like, fuck, I'm eating pizza. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's like I'm not even excited that I have food because it's like I have the A, but I don't have the B, or I have B without A. That's a better way of doing it.
Yeah, you're missing the missing component.
Yeah, but I will say there's this one pizza that I had whenever I was on tour with Decapitated in the UK, which I've never experienced before, and it was great, and it had corn on it.
I'm not never corn, but yeah, some people have corn on their pizza over here.
Yeah, I've never seen that before, and I actually think it's great. corn on pizza is fucking next level. Like, for real. Like, I think it was a vegan pizza or a vegetarian pizza or something like that. It had a bunch of vegetables and shit on it, and comes the corn, you know what I mean? But corn on pizza is sick.
I mean, it's not for me, but to each their own, man. What?
Yeah,
I don't.
Hey, whatever.
I'm gonna slander.
It's the new pineapple on pizza.
I love pineapple on pizza.
Same.
Yeah,
but it's just corn on pizza.
I usually go for jalapenos and pineapple to get like a sweet and spice kind of thing going on.
Yeah, neutral each other out type of deal.
I don't understand. I might be kind of offending you a bit here, but when people have, instead of the marinara sauce, they'll have barbecue sauce on the base. I just don't get that. I don't fuck with that.
Oh, dude, like a barbecue chicken bacon ranch pizza. Yeah, that's banging, bro. Oh, getting me hungry over here now, dude.
Well, now that we've kind of took on the big topic of pizza and we've righted the wrongs there.
Yeah.
I saw you put a video on Instagram of the next video that's coming out, and your literal blood is in the artwork in the video. Is that right?
Yeah, fucking I had my blood drawn to be able to mix the blood in with the paint that is on the canvas. I kind of just like wanted to do it because like it's metal as fuck.
It is metal
you know what I mean? Like, and like I wanted to. All right, we only had one color of paint. I didn't want to spend a shit ton of money on expensive paint. So I used my blood to kind of neutralize the color down a little bit, water it down. So whenever it was painted and it dried, and we filmed the person completing the last bit, because I essentially painted it up to like 95%, and then the person had to paint the other 5% of it for the video. But yeah, fucking, I wanted the red to look different from whenever we go to shoot the new shots of the dude finishing it or whatever. So I was like, what can I do? And I was like, I could water it down. And then I was like, I'm going to water it down with my fucking blood, dude. And I just think it's fitting. I put so much sweat and tears in the record. Why not blood too?
Why not literal blood? Yeah.
Yeah, fucking. And it's really cool because like it's a painting that I created with my fiance. She helped me out, really helped me make sure it could be understood what the fuck it is, and I didn't go into psycho artist mode and fucking make it super weird. You know what I mean? I do think I already kind of exceeded the level of weirdness putting my blood in it, but it's whatever. I have a coffin in my backyard, so it's really not that far fetched of fucking who I am as a person. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, definitely. I kind of like was weird about drawing the blood and stuff because like I have like kind of trauma from like being around drugs and shit whenever I was younger. So whenever I like see needles, I get weirded out. People are always like, how do you have all these tattoos? Then it's totally fucking different.
I get that. And I'm
you know what I mean? Well, a lot of people be like, what's the difference, bro? And I'm just like, dude, there's no similarity whatsoever. Fucking, but anyway, it's like, so like the video, like you could see me like I'm like looking away, dude. It's because like I'm like literally like trembling because like I'm like terrified a needle's about to go into my fucking arm. That was like a huge like breakthrough point for me. Because like I always get weirded out of being around him and stuff, but to actually get my blood drawn with one was kind of intense. And then like painting it was really cool. Now I could say I painted with my blood. I don't know what to do with the painting now. I was contemplating on like maybe putting it up for like raffle or auction or something, or like some type of giveaway. I don't know yet. Maybe whenever down the line I'll figure something out.
Yeah,
you know. Maybe I'll just pick some random person that pre-ordered a record and just send it to them in the mail, and they'll just be like, "What the fuck?"
Literally got the DNA in the mail.
Well, I'm gonna put resin over the top of it, and I'm gonna enclose it so no one can have access to that.
Yeah, otherwise, they might be able to clone you or something.
Yeah. Like I don't want my DNA out there because, like, realistically, somebody could kill somebody, put my DNA on the scene, and then I'm a prime suspect or some shit. Don't let me fall down the rabbit hole, dude. I'll talk about crazy conspiracies and fucking what they could do with my blood for hours.
Let's end that there then.
Yeah, let's not fall down that hole.
Well, on a different subject, to kind of push away from that. So you did like a voiceover for a video game called Crystalla, is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking shout out to my homies over at Astral Clock Tower Studios. Everyone over there is absolutely awesome, to the point that they will even extend a happy birthday to my fiance. And they're great people. They always come out to shows, get to hang out with them. I am very excited for whenever it gets to the fruition point of where it gets to be actually out and accessible for everybody. Had so many cool people get involved with it, like Joe Bad from Fifth Iron Autopsy, Will Ramos from Lorna Shore, David Bernice from the Extreme Vocal Institute. Honestly, they got so many more people after we did our like little segment, getting in, that I kind of don't even know who's all even involved with it anymore. It's a great little project, though. It's like Dark Souls, but with cats. Personally, fucking, I'm a cat person. I love dogs, but I love other people's dogs. I see what people go through raising dogs, and I don't think I have the right lifestyle to commit to that type of commitment. It's essentially like almost having a child.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what
you're
I
on the
mean?
road all the time, so you can't be there for the dog, can you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like my cats, they have each other and they have a lot of toys, and my fiance's home, but whenever like she comes out and stuff, we'll have like cat sitter that comes in and plays with them and stuff while we're gone. And that's hard. I can only imagine what it's like having a dog where it like needs like almost like to hour or two maintenance every, like taking it outside, playing with them to burn some of the energy so they don't destroy your house. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just cat person forever. And it's a cool little thing to be a part of, though, because it's like really cute, brutal in a lot of ways, like with all like the combat. I don't know. It's real neat.
So are you like a villain on the game? Is that what you're like doing the voiceover of?
I am the final boss of the
wow.
game, where I have like segments throughout the game where like it's just like my normal voice, and then like I transform into this being. I don't want to give away too much Easter eggs, you know. I'm on NDNA, but it's just so cool to be a part of. And like I am a final boss, and I have segments throughout the entire game where a lot of the people that are joined up after I was with it, they are just like additional monsters and like side bosses and shit like that. So it's kind of cool, like, because like one of my fans actually sent me a Reddit post, and that's how all this started. One of my fans was like, dude, you said you wanted to get into video game voiceovers. This company's looking for somebody that specifically said deathcore vocals. And I was like, bet, I'll drop my name. And if they listen to deathcore and they know my band, then I'm in. That's exactly what happened. I sent them like an email, and they were just like, holy fuck. And then like next thing you know, I'm like, hey, can I get some other buddies to kind of like jump in on this with us? It could be like a cool little thing where like more people get involved. Like it's just kind of just makes it a cooler thing than just like, oh, just the guy from Signs of the Swarm. You know what I mean? Like they were trying to have me do so many voicings where like I couldn't even handle the full workload. Like I think it was like 12 different monsters or something like that.
That's quite a lot of different voices to do.
That's what I'm saying. On top of the final boss, and this is like while I'm like working on records, and I was just wrapping up Absolvir at that point in time, and then moving forward, like, you know what I mean? Like I just didn't have the time to do it. It was hard to just get the final boss stuff done, just between my life schedule and work schedule and band schedule, and it's just so much shit. But
it's life.
Yeah, dude, really.
Yeah. Well, you did that kind of cover for that song from the Doom Eternal soundtrack as well, didn't you? You quite a big gamer.
Yeah, I am actually. I just got the new Diablo, started my Necromancer class.
Nice.
I think I am gonna go for a blood build. So I just reached master class in Apex Legends. Super easy on this cycle, actually. Haven't been jamming too much other shit, I'm not gonna lie. I'm the type that likes to kind of fall into one and play the actual fuck out of it.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? Actually get like the 100% done. I'm that guy. I'm not the one that jumps from like game to game to just follow the hype of what's going on right now. I was that guy at one point in time, but it's just because I was streaming and didn't take off too well.
What's you? Are you Xbox, PlayStation? What are you?
I am an Xbox man.
Oh,
yes. Whatever. What murder?
I'm kind of like you, so I'm on PlayStation, but I just trying to get 100%, get all the trophies on a game before I move to the next one. So yeah, I'm just like you.
So, yeah. I like collecting my achievements and doing all my shit, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really stoked because like I just dove into it like 2 days ago actually, and it was so far so good. I haven't got my ass kicked yet. I haven't looked up any playthroughs or nothing. Kind of going off past knowledge and hoping that I don't shoot myself in the foot in the future. The skill trees, man. You mess it up good. You know, think something's a good idea at that time, and it, you know, if I can. No.
Just going back to the band. So you guys have got some US shows coming up later this month, and then I think you've got the European UK leg in August and September, and then you've got another US tour supporting Carnifex at the end of the year in October and November. So it's just all hands on deck.
Yeah, dude.
How are you feeling about those shows, and what else is planned for 2023 so far that you can talk about?
Well, this year's pretty much like booked out and just like in the books done. We have all the tours that you mentioned. Also, I'm getting married in September. I'm going to be, I'll be in Europe throughout August and September. And then I get home and then instantly wash my clothes, repack my bag, and then hit my plane to Greece to get married. And I'll be up there for probably about like 3 weeks or so. Just kind of getting married, honeymoon, relax. Going to be completely off grid. I might do a couple random posts here and there just to show people I'm alive. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then just Bobby gets married in the beginning of October, sometime around there. And like then we're going on Carnifex, and it's just like nonstop shit, dude. Life, it's just coming in hard right now. And then like after we finish that Carnifex tour, pretty much we're going to start getting the next record ready.
Oh, cool. That's fast.
We generally usually try to like start planning the next record like within the first month or two after the record. We kind of give ourselves that kind of decompression stage of like, fuck all these interviews, all this work that we just put in, all the fucking meetings we had to do. It's all just, we just have to tour now. Yeah. So we like to give ourselves that little decompression time to kind of get away from the work of being in a band.
Yeah.
A lot of people discredit that work a lot, and it is very taxing and it takes up a lot of time. If I did not have my team that is completely with us, I would not be where I am, and I would not be doing the things that I'm doing. Back to the people that I referenced earlier in the podcast: Sonia, Brad, Bobby, Philip, Mike Gitter, Josh, Cameron, like everybody, they all helped us get to this special moment. And whenever the song gets released on the 28th, everyone's going to be able to get to experience how special this truly is.
Well, I just want to echo that. You know, this new album is fantastic. Congrats on putting it all together and all these things you've got coming around the corner. That's going to be, you know, really amazing for you guys. And obviously the wedding, congrats on that.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for letting me pick your brain a bit.
No problem.
Before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your day, is there any final words, anything you want to say, anything you want to plug? The floor is yours.
If anyone in the UK wants to come hang out with us, we got no meet and greets. Just come find us, say what's up. Let's take pictures. Let's have a fucking blast. Anyone else in the world listening, fucking jam the fuck out of the record as much as you can. If you haven't pre-ordered, pre-order it. If you're listening to it after this record's out, fucking grab that shit. We're really ready to share this experience with you guys, and I'm eager to hear what you have to say. That's pretty much all I got, though.
That's fine with me, dude. Yeah, thanks again, Dave. I really appreciate it. Take care, and speak to you soon.
Hell yeah, dude. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bye.
Be easy.
And that is it. Thank you so much for listening. Again, if you enjoyed this or any other episode of the podcast, then please leave a rating and review wherever you're listening to this. If you want to support the podcast further, you can go and give it a follow on social media, pick up something from the merch store, or subscribe to the Patreon to get early access to episodes. All the links can be found at itsnotaphase.co.uk. That's itsnotaphase.co.uk. Thanks again, hopefully catch you on the next one, and remember, it's not a phase, it's a lifestyle.